Hello, and my name is RobDogger55, and I'd like to welcome you to this tutorial on how to create a Bukkit server. Now, what is Bukkit, you may ask? Well, Bukkit is kind of like... Have you guys heard of HMod? Well, okay, you might not have heard of HMod, but Bukkit basically allows you to be able to use mods in Minecraft multiplayer server. So, make a Bukkit server. So you can install plugins, do extra things. First things first, we need to download the files for Bukkit. So, and yes, I am watching Sly Foxhound's latest Minecraft video. I had to pause it because my friends were generous enough to hop off my multiplayer server and get on single player so I can record this. Thank you very much, guys. Alright, so now we need to go to bukkit.org and go to documentation, or you could just go to wiki.bukkit.org, but I just like to do it that way, it's a lot quicker. And for server admins, tutorial, start your server. I will put a link to all of this down in the description. I will be covering Windows only since I run Windows. Linux isn't too different. Mac OS is a lot different, and I've barely used the Mac because I don't like them. So sorry, you guys. I'm not trying to cause hatred, but I just don't use Macs. I don't really particularly like them. Therefore, I don't know how to do it. Alright, so first things first, you've got to download Craft Bukkit, which is the name for Bukkit when it's not finished, because it's not finished yet. So first we just need to download the latest recommended build. So this is the latest stable build. Just close that. And then if we minimize here, yes, it's right here. Sorry about the mess on my desktop, by the way. I haven't had the time to get around to clean it. Alright, so we go new folder. Just call it, say, Minecraft server, for example. And then we just move that into there. Then we open a notepad and we copy all of this. The pause doesn't really want to copy most of the time, so we will copy all that, paste it there, and under here we'll write pause just because it was missing. And so now this is all you have to do for if you're running a 32-bit computer, but if you're running a 64-bit computer like me, you have to go where it says program files and put bracket x86 bracket just before the percentage sign there, right at the end. Once you're done, go File, Save As, find the folder. What did I call it again? I think I just got Minecraft server. Yes, there we go. And save it as run.bat. You can really call it anything you want as long as you include .bat B-A-T at the end. And save. Alright. So now that we've got that going, we've got the basis of our server. Now you run, obviously, the run batch file, and it will open up something. It'll open up this window called command prompt, and it'll come up with all these things like fails to load ban list, failed to load this, failed to load that. Just ignore that. As you can see, they automatically downloaded. And yeah, so now we're just preparing the spawn. It usually takes longer. I don't know why it's taking this quick anyway. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to stop this server. And you must always write stop and press enter to safely stop the server. Alright, so now we have all these files here. And so I'll just give you a walkthrough about what they are, because realistically you have your basic Bukkit server right here. You could run this. Actually, no, you can't. My bad. Yeah, well, yes, you could run this and you could get in, but no one else could. So I'll just run you through everything that's here, and then we'll finish off the the process of being able to make a server so that anyone can get in, not just yourself. So first we have the plugins folder. Pretty self-explanatory. You put the plugins there. World. This is of course your world folder. Banned IPs. In there you just put your banned IP. So if you want to ban an IP, for example, like, a griefer could be coming from that, you just put the banned IP in there, or you could just use banned players. Craft Bucket, that's what we downloaded. You always need to keep that. OPs, that's just another. I don't know why they call it OPs. I think it's called operators or something like that. Anyway, it's just basically administrators. So, for example, I would put my Minecraft name there and save it. Run, of course, we need to keep that. Server.txt. This is actually your server log, which can get very, very bloated. That basically just shows what command prompt shows you when you start it up. So if you find any errors, you can go back to the server logs and check that out. Now here, it's a .properties file, as you can see. What you will want to do is, if you haven't opened a .properties file before on your computer, it won't know what to open it with. So it will come up with open with. Now I want you to go browse, program files, so my computer, local disk, C, and then program files, and go down to Windows NT, accessories, and WordPad. And I always just like to use the selected program to open this kind of file. And of course, it's just going to apply it again. Alright, so now that we've got this open, you can see this might make some sense to a few people, might not to others. It's alright, I'll walk you through it. Level name. If you want to change the level name, like for example, if I wanted to have it bad spelling. Awesome World, for example. And then I save this and run the server. It'll create another folder exactly like this, but called Awesome World. But of course, it'll be a new Minecraft world, new map. Or you could just delete that one and keep it as world in here. And of course, it'll just generate a new one. Now the next option is for if you want it to be a hell world. I always keep that to false. That's just, I don't like having servers being a hell world, so being the nether, but you can if you want. It's your choice. Spawn monsters. It all depends, like whether one, you want monsters, and two, if your computer can handle it. And I can safely say my computer can handle quite a lot of things while running the server, including playing it. But if I add monsters and animals to it, my laptop will crash and I won't be able to play Minecraft, and all my friends will be experiencing enormous lag. So I choose to put that to false. Online mode, true. I always keep that true, because what that does is that verifies people's usernames, so that to check if they've got legitimate Minecraft accounts. Of course, you can set that to false if you want, so that you can let people with hacked clients in, but that's a little risky. Plus, you wouldn't want anyone who's not legit getting in your server anyway. Unless, of course, it's in my case where I have a friend who I know who's getting it very, very soon, and he got a hacked one just so he could get in my server for the time being, and I've set that to false just for him, because I'm being a nice mate. And as I said before, with spawn animals, exactly the same as spawn monsters. It just depends whether you want them and whether your computer can handle them. Max players, again, it comes down to what your computer can handle. I usually tend to put 10 because I've never had 10 of my friends in my Minecraft server at once. And plus, after 10, I think my computer starts to get a bit laggy. Server IP. Many people think, oh yeah, you've got to put your IP in here. I don't know why it's in here, but I wouldn't do it, because it causes all these errors with the plugins and the server software and everything. It just stuffs everything up, so just leave that as it is. PvP means player versus player. Can you hurt the other player? If you want to be able to hurt other players, set it to true. If you don't want to, which, seeing as my server is actually a building server only, not a survival, I have it as false. Alright, server port 25565. That is the default port for Minecraft. You will want to keep an eye on it, because we will be using that number later. So, for the port forwarding. Whitelist. Well, you all should know what that is. That's who you're going to allow, who you're not going to allow. So you can put names in the whitelist file, and they will be able to get in. Or if you don't include them in the whitelist file, and this is set to true, of course they can't get into your server, which is what I've done. Now, spawn protection. You will spawn protection's kind of like, you know how you can't really be somewhere unless like there's ground there. Okay, that was a pretty lame example, but it's kind of like that. There needs to be an area for everyone to spawn on, and to stop it from being nothing there for anyone to spawn on, there's this thing called spawn protection in Minecraft, where if you destroy a block, that block will immediately go back. I usually just set that to 5 or 3 or something, just something small, because it doesn't need to be too big. So once you're done, save the changes like always, exit out, and last but not least, whitelist. And always remember even to add your username in there, otherwise you will never get in. Funnily enough. Alright, so now we've covered how to download it, how to get the files, and we've gone through what all the basic files are. Now it's just up to port forwarding, which many people find really frustrating, which I don't find it that hard, but you know, if you don't know that much about computers, because if you ask all my friends, I'm like a tech guru. So anyway, it's not that hard, and maybe a bit daunting. The first thing you want to do is go start network, or if you're not using Windows 7, you're using another Windows. I remember I used to know how to do it in XP, but not in Windows 7, but now I've forgotten how to do it in XP, and I can do it in Windows 7. So whatever floats your boat, just, you know, find network somehow. It'll have your computer, whoever's else connected to the network, and under network infrastructure, mine has the wireless router, which is my router. Yours might just have router, might not be wireless, whatever. It's still, you need to right click on the router and view device web page. Now, notice it asks for authentication. It asks for a username and password. By default, they are usually admin and admin as the password, or non-caps, but different companies make different login system, well, make different routers, I should say, and they could be different. If you can't get access to your router, you can't make a Minecraft server, so just look it up in Google or something. I've never had a problem with mine because the instruction booklet said what the default one was, and I just changed it. And also, while we are here and waiting, you might notice up here the 192.168.1.1. That is my router IP address. I have heard of in certain circumstances where it's 1.2, but I know or it could be 100, or it could be anything, but for main of them it'll be 1.1. So let's just go ahead and log in. So now you are logged into your router. You know that box that you install and, you know, hook up to the phone line? You're now inside of it. Just think of it in that way. I thought it was pretty extraordinary when I first heard of that term. You're like inside of it. So now you're inside your router, and you have got to find. I mean, yours could look like this, but it could look a lot different. This is why when you tutorials for port forwarding and stuff don't always work, because people don't see what they're looking for, because all routers are different. But I've got an ASUS ADSL router, so mine I need to go advanced setup and NAT. And just a second there, I'll remove my current port forwarding. I should have really got rid of that beforehand. I was going to, but I kind of forgot. Alright, so if yours isn't under advanced and nat or anything like that, just find somewhere that says, like, it might be game servers or virtual servers or anything to do with anything to a server. So virtual servers, game servers. I really don't know because this is the only router I've ever had experience with. But if you need any help, just put it in the comments below and I will try and work it out for you. So, of course, in this instance, you need to go add. Now, what ASUS has done, I don't even know if I'm saying the company right. What they've done is you can select services, so like Age of Empires and stuff like that. And what that does is that automatically fills everything in. They don't have one for Minecraft. They don't think Minecraft is epic enough. Which it is, it should be on that list. But they just suck. So, first of all, we're going to name it something. I just call it Minecraft. And the next step is to go to Start and either run, or if you're on Vista or Windows 7, you can just type it into this bar here. Type CMD and hit enter. That'll open up Windows command prompt, and you're probably best to do it under administrator. I'm not sure if you can do it under non-administrator, seeing as I've kind of had to be the administrator for my family on my computers my whole life, so I've had to fix all the problems and stuff. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to type in ipconfig. So ipconfig, no spaces, and hit enter. Now all this stuff will come up. Don't worry, just scroll back up a bit. You might have more, you might have less than this. It just depends on how many things you've connected to. Like, for example, just really quickly here, this one here, spaspol-co.wan, that's because I've actually connected my laptop up to the school Ethernet ports and stuff like that. So it's just recognizing that it's there, but it's disconnected at the moment. But we're not interested in that. We are interested in this bit here, where it has wireless LAN adapter wireless network connection, or I'm not sure if it's running on Ethernet on a cord. It could be different. I'm not sure, but we are looking for your IPv4 address here. Mine is 192.168.1.3. Now, please do not copy mine because it's not going to work. You will have a unique one yourself. So, you've got to go through steps and find it. You can't just copy mine. Now, as you can see here, default gateway. That's another way to find your router homepage, is if you type ipconfig and go and find default gateway, and that's your gateway to your router. Alright, so anyway, so we've got our IPv4 address. And I won't go into detail about that, just that if you don't have an IPv4 address, you might have an IPv6, which is a new one, or you could just have, I'm guessing you could have even IPv1 or 2 or something like that. I'm not even sure if they exist anymore. So I'll go ahead and type 3 into here to complete the IP address. Now what we will need to do is first of all change the protocol to TCP/UDP. So you want to be able to accept both to income, not just one, just because some people might have a different connection type. So you want to select both of the protocols, and then you remember that number that we said before that was in the server.properties file, 25565. Well, we want to copy that, and we want to go back in here and we want to paste it in here for the external port start and the external port end. And that's just basically opening up the ports so that people can get in. Just think of it this way. That is a gate. Well, that's a hole, but you've got a gate there to so that no one can get through the hole. And what you're doing by entering it in here is you're actually allowing the gate to be opened. You're opening the gate so that people can come in and access whatever's running on this port. So it might be like accessing one room out of a whole house or something, just to put it out there. So once you've done that, hit save and apply, and you can give yourself a big pat on the back because you have just successfully port forwarded. Now we can close that. Now, if your friends are nagging you to tell them how to get onto your server, this is the way you find out what IP you've got to give them to so that they can get in. Go to whatismyip.com, and it will show you your external IP. This one here is your internal computer IP and your router IP. This one here is your external or public IP, which you can give out to people. Just a warning though, if you do give out your IP address to people to connect to your server, I would change the password of your router at least and make it pretty difficult, because they can actually put this in the bar, and if they guess your password right and your username, they'll be able to get in your router and then, you know, stuff your port forwarding up or stuff your internet up. So it is risky, so just remember to change your password. So for example, if I had Fred, I don't know anyone called Fred, but say for example Fred wanted to get on my server, I would copy this and give it to him. I'd say for example this is our chat, and I would just go, right, that's my IP, and just give it to him. And then once he's got my IP, he can now connect to my Minecraft server, and that was a very dumb thing to do because now my computer is freezing up. That is not a good sign. Alright. Doesn't look like it wants to respond anytime soon, so let's keep pressing ahead. Is that really gonna keep doing that? Why while I'm recording? Couldn't it do that after being recording? Alright, that was just a really stupid thing putting in the URL bar while recording. Alright. Anyway, even though I had that little mishap, the show must go on. I just don't think in this browser window. So now what you can do is you open up Minecraft, which, because yes, my laptop is lagging a bit, it's going to take a little longer than it should to load, which it loaded surprisingly fast. So now you go to multiplayer, and for you to be able to get on, if you're on the same IP, same computer, same home network, or is it just same computer? It's one of the others. You just have to use local host. I always get that mixed up. You just have to use local host and hit connect, and you're into your server. Whereas if you were someone else from, you would get that IP, and I just hit Control V because you can't right click and paste or right click and copy or cut in Minecraft, and then they would connect using that. Now, if you have seen ones, for example, like this, 25565, like that, that's just got the port at the end of it. I'm not sure why, but I have had no problems with it being exactly like that. Now, I would load up the server and show you it all loading, but it'll lag like all hell while trying to generate the world. So, to spare you that, I will just go back to my desktop, and I will quickly run through some of the Bukkit plugins and stuff very quickly. So this is my Minecraft Bukkit server. As you can see, it's got a lot more stuff in it, but I've got lots of plugins in it and stuff, lots of complicated stuff. Dream Build is what it's called. See what I mean by renaming the world in the server.properties. Alright, so if we head into plugins, you'll see all this. Yes, you download the plugins as Java files, .jar, executable jar files. and when you run the server after copying them in here, they will make their own folder, or possibly even make their own files outside here, and generate what's needed. Now, there's not a lot to say in the way of plugins, because usually they've got everything you need to know on the website, or well, on the forum thread, which I will take you to in a second if the browser stops stuffing up. Alright, so if I'm just going to show you permissions, because that's fairly quick. All I want to explain is the YML files. It'll just be another unknown file type. I had never heard of YML files until Bukkit came out. But of course you need to go open with. As you can see now, I'm starting to get lag on my computer because the browser's stuffing up, and I really don't want to close it because I really want to watch the rest of Sly Fox's video. And you always open it with Notepad, remember? Oh, never had that happen before. Got a little glitch there. Alright, so you open it up, and like it'll tell you stuff that's in there and what to do and how to do it and stuff like that. And yeah, that's just about it. It'll tell you how to use it. It should also tell you how to use it on the forum thread, but they don't always do. Sometimes it's a little annoying. This still is not working. Alright. Okay. I don't think it wants to load anything else. So, oh no, here we go. We want to close the program. I'm going to have to. I will close the folder. And that is still there. I'm probably going to have to reset my computer. Anyway, I'll just load the browser window back up. Chrome is really good all the time. It rarely stuffs up. Alright, so now I've got that working. Oh cool, the glitch has gone away too. Alright, so now we got to go back to bukkit.org. Go to forums. Oh, yeah, wait. Or you could go get plugins, which takes you to the exact same place as that does. I just keep forgetting that's there, and I always go forums. Anyway, it'll take you to plugins.bukkit.org, which you could also just type it into the browser, and I will also provide a direct link to that in the description. And of course, as you see, there are lots of things you can add onto your server. Permissions, sensors, commands, and you can also get them in categories, so all of them uncategorized: admin tools, anti-griefing tools, chat related, developer tools, economy, fix, fun, general, informational, mechanics, teleportation, world editing and management, website administration, and miscellaneous. I will just try and let's see if I can find the permissions one. Permission. This isn't going to exactly find what I've got. I was trying to show you the permissions plugin that I showed when talking about YML files, but it's not going to find it. It might not even be there anymore. I might have to go in there again. But what I did was I just opened this in a new tab, and it'll take you to the forum thread under plugin releases, and you will just find something like this, and it'll tell you what you can do, the features, bugs, controls, commands, permissions. They'll usually have credits and videos and whatever else they decide to have in there in the thread. It should have all the information you need to use it, and if not, I don't see why not. Just comment in the comment section below, and if you are having some trouble trying to get it working, I will gladly help you. Try and figure it out for you, because yeah, I love to be as helpful as I can. That pretty much sums it up. That is how to make a Bukkit Minecraft server. And I don't think anyone makes traditional Minecraft servers anymore. because everyone just loves the plugins. But if you want to create a traditional Minecraft server, I have got a video up on that, which of course has not changed, and I will also put the link in the description below for it. Thank you very much for watching, and I really hope this helped you. If you need any help with anything, just put in the comment section below, and I will, as I keep saying during the time, I will help you. If you don't mind, like, comment, rate, subscribe, whichever. Don't do any of it, do all of it, whichever you want. I'm just glad to be of service and help people. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in a Minecraft episode, I guess. Ciao.